everybody. Welcome to Radio Waves. I'm your host, Kris, and we're broadcasting from my 790 AM in Leesburg, Florida. This is brought to you by Red Apples Media. Today we have two guests, and our first guest is Dr. Alan Holden from the United Way. How are you doing today?
Doing very well, Kris. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
So, I did some research over the weekend looking at the United Way. I've always heard of the United Way. It's been there my entire life. But it wasn't until I actually started looking into it that you guys actually do a lot. Can you tell us a little bit about some of your programs?
Well, certainly. Be glad to. United Way has three focuses. We're trying to improve the quality of life in our communities here in Lake and Sumter counties, and we do that by supporting programs on three major building blocks. Education, improving the educational outlook of our community, making sure we have more people graduating from high school. Secondly, improving the income stability of families. There's a lot of working poor in our community, people who are living paycheck to paycheck, and if their car breaks down, if they fix the car, they got a dilemma. Do they fix the car and go to work, or don't fix the car and don't get to work and can't pay the rent or whatever? We step in and help out as much as we can in those areas. And then, of course, improving the quality of health in our community through health education programs.
How do you generate the money for this?
Okay.
Right? So, are there events and things of that nature, or is it just pure donation?
Well, it's pure donations. We have what I call two basic seasons. We have the workplace campaign, which we're about to embark on throughout the fall from August through the early part of December, where businesses, large corporations, small businesses invite us to come in and do a presentation to their employees, tell them about what United Way is doing in Lake and Sumter counties for their citizens and their brothers and sisters. And hopefully that encourages them to take a payroll deduction, whether it be a flat amount or a percentage or a dollar amount each pay period. And the businesses collect that and forward it on to United Way. Then, of course, in the winter and the summertime, we do some fundraising events. And we also do legacy giving planning for other folks who would like to plan to leave a legacy to their community.
When you say legacy, what do you mean?
Well, when people come, maybe they have some property and their lives has changed. Maybe their children have gone on and they're doing quite well. So they decide they would like to take a part of their assets, that when they leave this world, they'll leave it to United Way or to another nonprofit or to another cause. And that's what we call legacy giving. So they plan whether it be their will, or whether it be through a foundational trust or through an insurance program that they buy and purchase and leave it to an organization.
Wow. Okay. Now, what if, because again, the United Way has been around for so long, and you get the donations, you run your events and things like that, but what if someone wanted to be able to help out or to get involved, because let's say they got help from you and said, wow, this great program, thank you very much for helping us. I would like to help, but you had to help me.
Right.
Know.
Well, we need volunteers.
Okay.
All of our funded partners, United Way cannot operate efficiently without volunteers. Every dollar that's donated to us, we're able to leverage the work capacity of volunteers and leverage that $1 donation into $7 of impact in the community. So if someone wants to volunteer, they can call us and tell us what they're interested in doing, and we can either pair them with another organization that we support to volunteer for them and put those two elements together, or they can come. For example, in September we have what is called a Day of Caring, and we pick an area to try and beautify and improve. Right now we're looking at doing a park in Lady Lake, and we'd like to do another park in Lake County, and we're asking volunteers to come out and help us to do a learning trail and to clean up the park. make it much more beautiful and enjoyable for the community.
Very nice. So when you're saying make it look more beautiful, you're talking maybe landscaping and the whole 9 yards?
The whole 9 yards, cleaning it up, making it pretty,
Okay.
Picking up trash and that sort of thing.
Okay. And if someone was interested, where can they get this information?
They can call our offices at 352-787-7530 and let us know they would like to volunteer, or they could go to our website at www.uwls.org and click the volunteer button and fill out the little form. We'll get it and we'll contact them and get them all signed up.
Awesome. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Now, you mentioned community. And again, as I was doing my own little research here, I was talking to a lot of my neighbors and things of that nature. When we say community, does the United Way, it's obviously national, but the funds that you generate in the local chapter for Lake and Sumter counties, does it go into a national pool?
No.
Or does it, okay, so no.
No, the United Way is sort of like a franchise. Okay. We pay a franchising fee or a trademark fee for the term United Way, for that logo. And we had to abide by their criteria to do fundraising and programs in our community. But this United Way of Lake and Sumter is totally owned by the board of directors that are locally elected here in Lake and Sumter counties. All the monies that are generated here stay and are invested in Lake and Sumter counties.
So essentially, if you donate because you want to help your own community,
yes,
it stays within your chapter.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going down the list and looking at some of these programs that you have. And actually, before we go any further, the United Way's been around a very, very long time.
That's right.
Okay. And we're going to touch base on some of these programs. But you and I spoke before the show started.
Right.
And I was hoping you might be able to explain to our listeners.
Okay.
Just a little bit about the history of the United Way.
How it started. In 1887, a lady by the name of Frances Jacobs was concerned about the welfare of her community in Denver, Colorado. So she met with a Catholic priest, a rabbi, and 2 Protestant ministers. It sounds like a bad joke, but it's really true.
That's why I wanted you to say it. I think it's great.
And they met together and formed a community chest, and they collected money, and then they coordinated relief services to give emergency assistance. And that eventually became known and spread throughout the country as the United Way. And here in Lake and Sumter counties, we are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year.
Wow.
And we're kicking that off with a couple of presentations at area chambers of commerce later this month. And we're very excited about our future because we got a lot of great things that we're actually going to be rolling out this coming fall over in Sumter County. We are doing what is called a master teacher, where we go to privately owned daycare centers and we offer the services of our master teacher to come and train their workers so that they can receive credits to become certified early learning teachers. And that's a win-win-win proposition for the business owner as well as the workers. They get trained without having to go to night school and having to pay for it. And then, of course, the children benefit because they enter first grade ready to learn. Those who enter first grade ready to learn, knowing their numbers, their letters, their manipulatives, and all those things, are much more apt to graduate high school than those who don't have that.
Oh, I bet. It's that reinforcement.
Yes.
And the more you put out there, whether it be for the educators themselves or the students themselves, I'm a big believer in reinforcement because, well, people go astray. They get lazy.
We forget very quickly.
We do. We're human. We get complacent, right? So, I see that you actually have a lot of educational programs.
Yes.
Master teacher is one for sure. But like buses and backpacks.
Right.
So, we're approaching the new school year.
That's right.
Can you go over some of the ones that are, specifically directed towards students?
Okay. Buses and Backpacks is done through one of our funded partners down in South Lake, and they collect a lot of school supplies, and they get some backpacks, and they give them out to the over 2,000, or excuse me, 4,000 low income and homeless students in Lake and Sumter counties. We also have a 320 some odd volunteers up in the villages. It's another funded partner who are called Tutors for Kids, and they'll be going into the classrooms and spending at least 30 minutes a day with a needy student who needs extra help.
Wow. And these are all volunteers?
That's right, yes.
All volunteers. Now, are you short? How is the volunteer situation now? Everybody who relies on volunteers, we can always use more. Right.
A lot of times, most people.
Is there any critical, periods of times of the year where you're just like, we're really low, and now some of our programs are going to suffer because of it?
Right. Summertime is always a challenge because of our snowbirds who go back up north. And we're glad when they come back because we have an overabundance of a lot of ready labor volunteers, but we always need more. We need more people who want to do short term as well as long term. So if ever you want to volunteer, just give us a call. We'll be glad to put you in contact and get you going.
Okay. And again, real quick, if they wanted to contact you, what was your phone number and website again?
It's 352-787-7530, and our website is www.uwls.org.
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, well, first of all, I want to say thank you very much for coming.
Well, thank you for the privilege.
We still have a couple of seconds left.
Okay.
So, but we are going to start wrapping it up so we can go to break. But thank you so much for coming here and sharing the information about the United Way. Like I said, when I was doing research, I've lived my whole life with United Way out there and just didn't really get a full understanding of what you guys do and the good work that you're out there.
Right. Thank you.
So thank you again for coming.
Thank you for the privilege.
So next we have Mr. Doug Major. He's the events coordinator of the Educational Foundation of Lake Counties. And we're going to take a quick break. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Radio Waves. I'm Kris Poliquin, and you're listening to us on my 790 AM in Leesburg, Florida. Our next guest is Mr. Doug Major. Hi, Doug. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, Doug, you are the events coordinator for the Educational Foundation for Lake County.
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, first of all, my job is, they say it's an easy job, but it's very hard. The Educational Foundation.
They say about every job.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, the Educational Foundation, we are a direct support for the school district. So we do a lot of fundraising for the school district, which means for the teachers and the students in Lake County. So my job is to oversee all of our events, and we have a lot of events during the school year just to raise funds for those students.
Wow. Okay, so you're actually generating more money for the school system themselves.
Yes.
Okay. And, like our last guest, I had to do my own little research, and I went through the line, and there you do quite a lot. There's a lot of programs. You even have some of the big events that I think everybody is aware of, but they may not know that it's you guys that are actually doing it.
Yes.
So tell me about, let's say the Apple Mart stores, because that immediately piqued my interest because I'm a father and I had a son, and I've always got that list, and it's like, what do you mean Xerox paper,
yes.
Right?
Well, the Apple Mart store, when it first opened up, which was, I would say 11 years ago, it was one store in Leesburg. And what the Apple Mart store does, we collect school supply items from all over, wherever we can get them from.
Okay.
We put them in this store. A teacher can come to that store and shop for free, as we call it. Mm-hmm. And they can get up to about $75 worth of free supplies each time they come. Wow. Now we have grown. We have 3 stores, Leesburg, Mascot, and Mount Dora. So with these 3 stores, I oversee them. I have 27 volunteers, and these are retired educators, retired people.
Is that right?
Yes, and they man these stores every Wednesday for the teachers to be able to come, shop for free, and we keep it stocked up with paper, pencil, copy papers, any kind of school supplies, whatever teachers may need for a bulletin board, whatever they need, we make sure it's there for them.
Well, good. Thank you from me, because you know, as a parent, you see some of these lists, and it's kind of discerning. You're like, Xerox paper, pencils.
Yes.
The teachers are asking for extra pencils. Now, all students go to school with their own, and they get their little ones. But you're seeing some of these things on the list, and it's just like, there's a disconnect somewhere. And programs like this that step up and help that, I can't say enough about it.
And that's what we do. We are the connection between the community and the school district.
Wow.
So we're there to bind us together to make sure that our students receive the education that they need, and we don't want anything to hinder them from receiving that education.
Right on. So now that's just the Apple Mart store.
Yes.
Right. You have another Find It, Fund It grants.
Yes. Find It, Fund It grant is just, it's something that was created for these teachers for like a $500 small grant. Something they want to do in their classroom that they really can't afford out of their pocket.
Right.
So what we do, we post it, and then we have community leaders who go online and they say, hey, I'll give $10 to that, I'll give $100 to that. Next thing you know, this teacher is able to do that particular project in their classroom without having to fund it through their own pocket, because the schools do not have the funds.
They can't do it.
Right.
It's kind of like a registry when you're getting married. Go to Target. Get me Staples or what have you.
Yeah.
Okay. And the TSIC, the Take Stock in Children.
Yes. Take Stock in Children. This is a program of ours we really love. Take Stock is a program of the Educational Foundation, and it's a scholarship program where students are selected in their 8th grade year of school, and they're followed through high school, through graduation with a mentor. They're assigned a mentor. That mentor mentors them through high school. They have to walk a thin line, but it's all
They have to stay on track.
They have to stay on track. That's the whole thing, keeping your grades up, behavior. And these are low-income, trouble kids who will not have the opportunity or can afford to go to school.
Right.
But they have that brain, they have that smartness about them that they can make it if they give the opportunity, if they're given the opportunity to go to college. So these students, that's what Take Stock does. They award these scholarships to them, and this is a scholarship that they can go to any Florida school and do their thing, and it's great.
Wow. Okay. Again, you've got so many programs, so we're just going to keep moving down the line, because I want to get this information out the best I can, and at least highlight some of the newer, the emergent ones.
Yes.
The back to school backpack fairs.
Oh yeah, that's my baby.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
The Back to School Backpack Fair is a program that we try to identify students that are on free lunch. Most people don't know, but Lake County School, we have over 1,800 students that are homeless, and we have over 64% of our students that are on free lunch.
Wow.
So we identify
64%.
64%. And we identify kindergarten through 5th graders only that can receive these free backpacks and school supplies. Well, in doing that, we identified 11,000 students this past year in order to get their school supplies for this coming school year. We just had our backpack fairs last week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We do 3 locations that makes it easy for families to get to. They get a backpack and get the school supplies they need to start, to go walk into that first day of school and say, I am ready to go. So we were able to service all these students. This year we serviced 4,000. Only 4,000 came to say, hey, I need your help. Although we identified 11,000, but 4,000 said, I need your help.
Right.
So we were able to help them, and we were just so excited to be able to do that. And in doing that, we're also able to, at the backpack fairs, We also render other services. There's social services that are there, from the health department to Florida Vision Quest to Lake Community Action Agency. All of these different agencies that come and they set up booths and they're able to talk to these parents and also give additional school supplies to these students.
That's great. It really, really is. Kind of like an epicenter for, hey, look, let's talk to the health department, or so on and so forth. One-stop shop, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
That's awesome. And are we just wrapping up on Red for Ed, or is that still going on?
No, we just wrapped up on it. Red for Ed. In fact, that was a part of the backpack fairs as well. Red for Ed, we asked different business partners, different companies to say, hey, I would love to be a drop-off location. And this collection location, all we do is put a box in their place, put a sign out. Next thing we know, we're getting school supplies in, and all of these businesses are helping our students to be able to get what they need for school.
And that's the big picture. So how can they get this information, or who do our listeners and viewers call if they want to donate time, or just find out, maybe reap some of these benefits for themselves who are, having some issues in need?
They can call my office with the Educational Foundation. It's 352-326-1265, or they can find us on the website, www.edfoundationlake.com, and that's www.edfoundationlake.com.
Okay. And, aside from all these programs you have, I assume, again, some of these events that you do, and I'm going to bring up one of my favorites, and it's the Lady of the Lakes Renaissance Fair. You guys actually...
That's your favorite?
Well, I'm kind of a... Look, if I had a suit of armor, I'd wear it all day long. Maybe not in Florida in August, but... Yeah, no, I love the Renaissance Fair.
Yes. That's one of our big events. The Renaissance Fair this year is coming up November 4th, 5th, and 6th, and November 11th, 12th, and 13th. And with the Renaissance Fair, we turn this property that we have in Tavares over off of, it's off of 19, and we make it into this 15th century village.
Yeah.
And we have entertainers, we have food, we have a full cast of about 200 students. Again, we involve students.
Excellent.
And they make this whole place alive. And we have the king there and the queen and everything.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting. So
it's a good time.
Yes,
it's fun. And now you do that for 2 weekends, right?
We do it for 2 weekends, yes.
Awesome. Well, okay. So I want to talk about one more that's coming up, and it is the Scott Strong Memorial Golf Tournament.
Yes, the Scott Strong Memorial Golf Tournament is in October, and this is a tournament where it's where men come. We usually have about 240 players that will come, and they golf, and the proceeds go towards the scholarship fund for Scott Strong's Memorial Scholarship.
Right.
Again, students are awarded, and we're able to award not only one student, but sometimes it's about 8 or 10 students that receive scholarships from this program.
God, it's amazing. And, I keep saying that, but, until I looked into it, I just didn't realize what all you guys do. So I encourage all of our listeners and viewers, do some research. If you have some time, donate it, A lot of good stuff here. Really, really is.
Thank you.
And now, how long have you been doing this?
I have been with the foundation 8 years. But I've been with the school district 22 years. So.
Oh.
Yes.
Former teacher? Okay. Well, all right. Well, Doug, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much.
I very much appreciate sharing this information.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to My 790 AM, WLBE, Leesburg. You can catch us on Comcast Channel 13, Bright House 498, or Century Prism Link, Channel 83. And if you or anyone you know would like to be a guest on our show, please give us a call at Red Apples Media, 352-801-7106. Doug, thank you again.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And to all our viewers and listeners, see you next time. Thank you.